presentation attentively. You're bang on, my man. It's so great to hear the purpose, the mission, the technology, and you do it great justice, my friend. Thank you for just laying it all out in terms of what we're trying to build here and what we've been working on for the last many years. And good evening to everyone on the call. An absolute pleasure to join you tonight, and thank you for taking time out of your immensely busy schedules to share your evening with us. It's an absolute pleasure. I had the pleasure of meeting James and other leaders in our office a couple of weeks ago. And as you know, James has a very special energy about him. He's very quick study. And the fact that in a couple of short weeks, he's nailed the story down as tightly as you have, my friend. It's kudos to you. Let's keep going. People need to hear our story, our purpose, and our mission in terms of how we're changing the world in a health-wise, wellness-wise, but also the economic drivers of our business that will make this truly a scalable, sustainable movement. Right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, there's so much to cover. And I could talk to you about our product from so many different perspectives. And, you know, in preparation for tonight's chat, I could talk for 3 or 4 hours. So I know time is of value, right? And then the video does a very good job of understanding how this technology works. So basically what we figured out with our VTT is Braille for the brain. We figured out the connection between the skin and the mind, which amplifies the mind-body connection. So what the super patch is a mind-body connector. We've been talking about that phenomenon for millennia. But what we've done is we've taken the esoteric and the mystical and made it scientific and mechanical. This is physics. This is just pure physics. And when you get into the guts of it, it's kind of simple. Simple in the sense that if you love math and calculus and signal processing and algorithmic math, this becomes a lot of fun. But we don't need to study that, no learn that. What we can do is enjoy the benefits of it. But the bigger picture behind this is, why would anybody spend 15 years and the better part of $25 million developing this product? As with anything, there is a story behind the story. The story behind this story is just a young kid taking care of his mother that had MS. The purpose of this started as a passion project. It is no longer a passion project. My mom was diagnosed with MS in 1983. She went to her wheelchair within 2 years. So I've had the honor of taking care of my mom and my dad for the majority of my life. Being a student of sciences and math and all those different things, and I excelled at it, I naturally found a career in the technology world. And when I came out of school, software revolution was taking over. A few years later, something called the internet came online. Remember that? 95, 96, it was the big thing, right, James? And while the world was trying to figure out the World Wide Web, something very obvious came clear to me, and it was to be able to see the future very clearly, that if the internet was going to have all this information, we need to protect it. And so I focused on online internet security, data security, and I built an amazing career in that. And that being ahead of that curve allowed me to generate incredible wealth by the age of 30. I was financially independent by the age of 30. Over my business career before network marketing, I saw the trends before they became reality. I saw the online security trend. I saw the cell phone trend. I saw the app trend. And every one of these added hundreds of millions of dollars to my net worth. That gave me the freedom not only to provide for my family, but to investigate ways later on to help my mom with her health and wellness. That's the genesis of this story. And so where does that leave us? It leaves you with a person, a man, who spent decades in the trenches, building, failing, learning, winning, all of it, right? I've worked with some of the most powerful Fortune 500 companies in the world. I achieved financial independence over 25 years ago. I've seen every kind of business model, every strength, every weakness. And I can tell you with unwavering conviction, the Supatch Company is the future of network marketing. I'm going to keep getting back to that. Not just because of what we say, because of what we have. So let's break it down. We have this incredible technology that is a revolution. It is a renaissance. We're the only company, not just MLM company, we're the only company in the world built upon a proprietary drug-free wearable neurotech platform called VTT. And we didn't license it from somebody. I built it, I developed it. It's taken 15, 16 years to do this. What does this mean? We own it. We are not leveraged with anybody else that has a right or a claim to our tech. So this allows us to build the best products. Our patches don't just claim results, they deliver them. It's backed by science, peer-reviewed studies, and a rapidly expanding base of passionate customers. We're the bridge between cutting-edge neuroscience and everyday wellness. This is the next trend. This is the next wave. And how you cash in on wave is being ahead of the technology wave. Technology is the greatest generator of wealth in the history of humankind. Think of the value of Meta, of Google, of Apple, of Facebook. These are borderline trillion-dollar companies, all based on technology. That's my background. That's my strength to understand what the next tech wave is going to be. The next tech wave, ladies and gentlemen, is drug-free health and wellness, is drug-free health tech. And what we have is the leading edge of that. So this is not a vitamin. This is not a lotion. This is not a product you've seen before. In today's world of AI, what we've harnessed is OI, original intelligence, the intelligence between our skin and our mind and our body. We're all born with it. This is a category creating innovation. This is the future worn on our body, right? When we say we're going to change the world, we're changing the world. It's happening every day. This is not a promise to be dreamed about. This is a promise to be experienced today. Why is that important? Because the number of people we can help is in the billions. Our market research tells us that we can touch and impact the lives of 6 billion people. We play in multiple global markets: sleep, focus and cognition, pain and inflammation, athletic performance and recovery, stress and emotional regulation. These are multi-billion people that need these solutions or buying these solutions that are in the trillions of dollars spent globally. And we do all of this without drugs, without chemicals, without compromise. So the total addressable market, although in the trillions, we get to lead the charge with a wearable solution no one else can replicate. So Peter Thiel says competition is for losers, and I tend to agree with that. Why have something everybody else has? When you can, so either you can compete in the market or you can create a market. I've made my entire fortune creating things that never existed before, creating markets that never existed before. It's way more fun. You get to be the best in class, and people will pay the price of the value we deliver. And what is that value? Product efficacy that changes lives. From youngsters with emotional dysregulation to elite athletes looking for, what is that, James? That 1%, the 2% improvement? The results speak for themselves. Try it and you feel it. That's our marketing plan. It's not complicated. That's why retention is skyrocketing. That's why stories pour in daily from across the globe, right? We're not selling hope in a bottle. We're delivering impact on demand. That's a different deal altogether, right? But with great advancements, there are great responsibilities, and that is compliance. And we're built for compliance. We're built for the future. Regulatory bodies around the world are tightening the belt on health and wellness claims. We've seen those issues arise in this industry. Most MLMs are panicking, reformulating, or tiptoeing around the problems. We're not. We're already compliant. Our technology is categorized and regulated appropriately. We're playing not just 5 moves ahead, we're 15 moves ahead. We're 50 years ahead of anything that's even close to us. Why? Because I didn't build this company on guesswork. It's built on decades of experience in regulatory frameworks, consumer behavior, manufacturing, enterprise scale. All of those things come into play. if you're going to do it the right way, if you're going to scale. A big component that we see sometimes challenges in our industry is consumer pricing. The product seemingly can be bought for a little bit less money somewhere else, sometimes for a lot less money. So we have something called effective consumer pricing. Our products deliver results at a price point that can make sense for everyday families. We don't have a product for the 1%. We have a product for the 99%. Well, competitors are pushing $150 subscriptions on powders, pills, greens, you name it. We deliver advanced neurotech for a fraction of the cost. That's how we go viral. That's how we become essential. That's how we become undeniable. When we can deliver the benefits and the value at a price that everybody can afford, you become undeniable, right? All of these things, our technology, our market size, our commitment to innovation is key. Why? It solves the risk of the inflection point that kills many companies and hurts many MLMs. What is the inflection point? That's that point in their growth where things start to stall. So most MLMs hit a wall, that inflection point. Recruiting slows down, the product redundancy sets in, compensation gets tweaked, mergers happen, prices change, quality falls. We've all seen it. That is the inflection point. Why? Because it wasn't planned for. It wasn't seen. It wasn't predicted. We've already solved for that. We're not chasing fads. We've built a product roadmap that's 10 years deep. I know exactly what our products are going to be over the next 10 years. We innovate relentlessly. Version 2.0 of our tech is coming out in July. We bring in neuroscience, psychology, product development, market data to evolve faster and smarter than anyone else. So Superpatch was not built to peak and fade. It's engineered for generational impact and generational scaling. What James said on the presentation is that I want to do something generational. Why? Because that economic itch that we all have, that desire to reach for the American dream, to reach for the brass ring, I caught a lot of brass rings at a very young age. People don't get to drip gold in my ear to make me do the wrong thing that'll jeopardize long-term growth. Just last year, we were offered hundreds of millions of dollars for our technology by Big Pharma. It makes no sense because it's not aligned with our purpose to change global health, right? But what does that come from? That comes from experience. It comes from having been at those Fortune 500 boardrooms to understand what really is happening out there. So I've had the privilege of working inside some of the most sophisticated companies in the world. I've seen how global empires are built. If somebody's never worked in or helped build $1 billion company, it's very hard to do the first time around. And now I'm taking the same level of strategic rigor, the brand excellence, the systems thinking, and pouring it into the field, into you and the company and the product development. So this is not a passion project. This is a multi-billion-dollar mission. It's global and it's generational. And the advantage is we just got started. This company is a 2-year-old toddler. We're on the ground. We're not even the ground floor. We're like in P1 of the basement. We're just starting. This is foundational. But the time is now. We're living in a new world where people want control over their health, agency over their income, and purpose in their work. And that's what we offer. A product that works, a business that scales, a culture that uplifts, and a model that wins for everyone. So to every associate that joins us, to every leader on this call, to every dreamer in the world, let's stop comparing ourselves to MLMs of the past. We are the blueprint for what the new MLM looks like, built on science, fueled by story, run with a heart, backed by strategy, and driven by people who want it all. Together, we're building something unprecedented, ladies and gentlemen. And the world is about to wake up and realize that the future isn't coming. The future is this. The future is Superpatch, and it's here. Everything we do go forward from today is going to make history with purpose and with power. And what we have in our hands is the light bulb of health and wellness. This breakthrough is as big as the light bulb was when Edison made it. It's as big as the wheel when it was first carved out of stone. As blind people read with their fingertips, we are talking to our mind to help restore a natural wellness. This is the biggest breakthrough in health and wellness in the last 50 years, ladies and gentlemen, and it's in the palm of our hands or on our bicep, on our arm, or on our back. And our job is to share it with the world. And when we share it, it grows exponentially. That's the promise. That's what we're delivering. And it's happening every day. James, it's happening every day. You've seen the results yourself just in a few short weeks, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is ours. We get to decide.